I'm Kathy.
And hi, I'm Jim, and this is our doggy, Kai. And we'd like to welcome you to our tiny house, Harmony Haven,
in beautiful Durango, Colorado. I'm 67 years old, but I don't feel that old. We really have a commitment to living our best life, and I want to live another 60 years. So we like to be active and keep our minds working, and we're not ready to sit in the rocking chairs anytime soon, I guess I'll say.
No way, nowhere near that.
And luckily we're soulmates on that, so. I think going tiny has been really beneficial for us from an activity standpoint because it frees us up. I guess that's what I'll say. Neither one of us were ever the kind of people that just love having a big house and a big yard, and we have this small house that is easy to take care of, and it allows us to be doing the things we really want to do. The reason we moved to Durango, to play when we're not working. And because we're able to be active, it's kept us young. I love Zumba. I fell in love with Zumba 10 years ago, well, about 12 years ago, became an instructor. Well, and I taught Zumba in my house during the pandemic.
So I'm a retired math teacher now. I'm taking Social Security, and I decided to pursue another passion of teaching yoga. So I teach here at the rec center. I have about 5 classes, and I also work at Home Depot in the garden department.
We've been in our tiny house for 6 years now.
And it was built by Rocky Mountain Tiny Houses in Durango, Colorado. Our house is 28 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, and 13.5 feet high to be legal on the road. We'd like to share with you our outside of our house. When we moved here, it was a simple pad for an RV, and we kind of transformed it. I like to call it homesteading a little bit here. So I'd like to take you, get a little tour. And everything you see, from the little red sidewalk that we put in to some gravel so we didn't have mud, and we built a little spot here for Kathy's scooter to keep it nice and safe. And we have our storage benches here. We keep stuff that we use fairly frequently so we can get to them. We built the porch here, and a simple design. I could take it apart if I want to, but it's held up really nice, and it's given us a place to come in before we go into the house. For me, I love living outside, and so a lot of guys have their man cave inside the house. I took my man cave outside. And I like to come out in the mornings. I have my cup of coffee, enjoy the sun. Sometimes in the evenings we'll have some liquid refreshments or evening coffee also. We went with our 2 sheds to keep our play toys that we use to play outside, hiking and biking and camping. And the other shed is to hold some other household stuff in here. So it took a while to build the project, but it's very comfy and homey for us, and I enjoy sitting out here a lot.
And now that we've seen the outside, we'd love to share the inside of our house with you. So when we were first designing this house, it was important to us to have functional zones. That's what we started calling it. Areas for all the different things that are important to us in our lives, like working out, cooking, living, etc., and my business.
So I'd like to show you at the front of the house is our living zone area. We decided to go with an L-shaped couch, and the reason is we wanted a little bit of coziness in this area here. And we got storage cabinets built underneath here, which is always a big thing in a tiny house. Also underneath, behind us, is storages. So we take advantage of that, and Kathy built the cushions here so we can sit on, and we decided to go with pillows here. And so it allowed us here to sit comfortably. And if I could just show here, we have this TV came from out of our bedroom, and we rotate it this way to watch TV. And then also, when we do workouts, we turn it this way. And this area right in front of the patio doors is our workout zone. So it's just a nice, simple area where we can relax. And also, you might ask, where does the heat come for our house? And so we have an NV heater that's run by electric, and it plugs in with a 110 outlet It sucks the air from underneath it and puts the hot air comes out. And with the well-insulated house, this is enough to keep us going almost year-round. We do have another one up in the bedroom when we need it. So one of the cool things we were able to do, since both Kathy and I are fairly short, was we lowered the roof down to 6 foot. Usually it's a little higher. And that gave Kathy more space up in her office loft area. And it really has worked out nice to take advantage of that with the builders. They were very flexible in helping us.
Now for a brief message from our sponsor, Established Titles. Since Christian has been acting like the lord of our little homestead,
I am lord of this land.
I've decided to do the same by following the Scottish tradition of referring to landowners as lairds, aka lords and ladies. Established Titles invites you to join the tradition with a fun, fresh way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland and help global reforestation efforts. To get your regal on, buy a title pack that gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Scotland, and it comes with an official certificate. Ooh, I love that fancy crest. Now I can include my title, Lady Stevens, on a credit card or plane ticket. With every title order, Established Titles will plant a tree through their work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. Go to establishedtitles.com/tinyhouseexpedition to shop their Black Friday sale and get an extra 10% off any purchase with code tinyhouseexpedition and help support our channel.
And this is my kitchen. I'm not a chef, but I do love to cook healthy meals, and so I wanted to have space to do that. I didn't want a little cooktop and no counter space, so I have a long counter. We specifically asked for this, and we actually asked for the counter to hang over because at one point we thought we might sit here, but that didn't work out. But anyway, this is plenty of space for me to work and get stuff done that I need to do. We bought this beautiful tile, which our builder put into a design so it kind of looks like a tree. We really like how it turned out. I was actually not sure I liked tile as a countertop at first, but it worked out really well in the end. We have plenty of room for our mug collection and all our dishes and stuff. We like the open shelving. We decided to go with that so that it would feel more roomy in the kitchen. But we do have our stock cabinets from Home Depot on the bottom with lots of storage. I really am able to store all the little appliances and pots and pans and stuff that I need just in this kitchen. We went with a double sink. Jim is the dishwasher in the family, and he wanted a double sink. Room for dirty and clean. We have a combo washer dryer, and some tiny houses have a stackable, but we decided to go with this because it took less room, and it is very slow. It takes about 3 or 4 hours for 1 load of laundry, but we're only 2 people. I just do laundry once or twice a week, and I work at home, so it's no big deal. It runs while I'm working, and at the end I can take the clothes out and fold them. It's worked out well for us. This is my main cooking prep area. I have my utensils and my spice jars all handy. And we went with a full 4-burner stove and oven because I do want to be able to put stuff in the oven sometimes. I wanted all 4 burners. It's a gas cooktop and electric oven combination. And then we have a dishwasher because the dishwasher in the house didn't want to do them all by hand. He wanted an automatic electric dishwasher, so that's worked out well. It does save us time for sure. And on the other side, we have lots of pantry space. I have a couple cubbies here where I have food and some cleaning supplies, and then we did opt for a custom pull-out pantry, which is wonderful because I have so much food in there. I mean, it really is amazing how much this holds, and it's out of sight, which is great and gives us space. I only need to pull it out when I'm needing something. And then we also got this extra pantry space in the wall here where I have all my mason jars, and again, that saved us so much space, which has been very handy, and it's all like close by when I need it, when I'm prepping food. And then finally, in our kitchen, we have a really beautiful 10 cubic foot refrigerator freezer on the bottom that was recommended by our builder. And they had a couple different models, but this one was perfect for our needs. It's huge inside and really holds all the produce and stuff that we need for a whole week. It's worked out really well for us. there's really a place for everything in our kitchen and lots of room to work, which is nice. Even when both of us are in here, that can be sometimes challenging in a galley kitchen, but we've worked it out.
With the concept of the functional designs, we really wanted a full functional bathroom. So let me take you in and show you our bathroom. And it's not too big, but it's 4 feet wide and 8 feet width-wise. What we were able to do was we were able to get our shower over here. It's 30 inches width and 4 feet long, of course, and that drove the dimensions to take the house to 28 feet. And so we were able to find a cute little sink here with storage underneath it. And then this is our pantry, and we keep our towels in here. And also the hot water heater, you might wonder, where did we fit that in a house? Underneath here is an aqua hot water heater. It's an instant on-off type of heater, and so it doesn't take a lot of space. It runs off of gas. It works really well. Our designers really helped us with little details like that. Rocky Mountain did a great job with that. When you look over here, we found this nice short toilet that fit in nicely at Home Depot. We're very lucky to find it. And we have our vanity here, personal stuff in there. One thing I like to point out here, because I'm a little claustrophobic, I really wanted a wide open space, and even in a bathroom. So you see this large window in here, and you might say, well, how do I shave? This mirror turned out to be a great solution where I just turn it over like this, and I can shave when I'm done. I just simply take it back and it's out of the way. And just little things like that just make this work for us.
Boise really grew in the 9 years we were there, and the traffic started to get crazy, relatively speaking. And we just knew that we wanted to live in a smaller town. So the first time we came to Durango was for vacation. When we started to explore how we could live here, we just didn't have a lot of money as a teacher and an entrepreneur who was successful but not raking in the money. We didn't think we had the money to buy property when we moved here, because the housing market had gone down after we bought our house in Boise, and so we knew we weren't going to make any money when we sold it. We were lucky to break even. We didn't know what we were going to do, and a friend of ours said, well, could you just live in an RV for a while until you save some money, and instead of an RV, maybe we could get a tiny house. And then we just started to think about what size tiny house would be right for us. Yeah. And is this a lifestyle? And we decided, yeah, it was.
We bought an RV up in Boise. There's a campground just north of us on Adams View Drive, and we were able to stay there for the 10 weeks while we helped build our tiny house. And
it was good to have that, but we definitely realized that it was way too small for us and for our animals. Our cats were absolutely miserable there.
Rocky Mountain was very, very kind to us. They allow us to work with them. That was a huge thing. The budget was $50K. What could we build? It ended up being a 28-foot home. It did go over budget. It went to $67,000 is what our bill was. With the labor we put in, we estimated, they did, that we put in about $15,000 of manual labor.
In addition to
the 67. Add those two up, then that's what it cost back in 2016. But yeah, somebody might say that's a lot of money, and I'm like, yeah, but how about $650,000 to buy a house in this town? A little house that's 80 years old, broken down, broken pipes, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to take us over here to the middle of the house again, where we have our dual stairs going up. And underneath it, we have storage, which was really crucial for us. This is where we keep our clothes in here. Also, more storage down here, and we really wanted the dual stairs going up there. It was important for us so that we could go up and down them and not worry about the ladder. The ladder solution was not something we felt comfortable doing. So talking with our builders again and showing some videos, they were able to design, and they did a great job again. Greg worked really well with us and was open to finding that solution for us because it was really important. So Kathy did an amazing job of being assistance on the stairs.
So one more thing I wanted to mention about the stairs is some tiny house staircases are really steep. I have short legs, and so it's important that we not have super high stairs. And these are a little higher than what you'd normally find in a regular house, but they're not so high that it's difficult for me to walk up and down, even at night in the dark. So let's go on up to the bedroom. So this is our bedroom. We have a queen-size bed, and it fits up here just fine. It gets pretty hot up here in the summer, so that's why I have a fan that helps to keep it cool along with the 3 windows, which we get lots of air circulation through. We have some additional clothing storage up here in these. We bought these little cubes, and I made curtains to keep the cat from pulling all the clothes out. Then we have our additional electric heater that we hardly ever use up here because it's usually warm even in the winter. So that's about it for the bedroom space. And next we'll take a look at my craft room office on the other loft. Well, welcome to my office loft and craft space. As you can see, I can almost stand up straight here. I'm just under 5 feet, and so by lowering the ceiling over the living room, it helped me have enough space to walk around up here so I can work comfortably. I'm a crafter. Some of my crafts I do for business, and some are just for personal pleasure. I have plenty of space in this little 6x8 square to store all that stuff, but mostly what I do up here is work on my laptop because I'm a freelance writer and do some network marketing, have a printables business on Etsy, so this is where I create. And I also bring my sewing machine and do sewing on here. I brought these cubes in. I had some shelving like this everywhere originally, but decided that wasn't working real well, so I bought these little prefab cubes to have better, more efficient storage space for everything that I need, both crafts and office supplies. This piece of furniture here behind me is the only piece of furniture that we brought with us from Boise when we moved out of our big house, and it has sentimental value. It belonged to my great aunt that I grew up with, and I couldn't bear to get rid of it when we left, so I found a way to use it. Well, a couple years ago, Colorado passed a law making it legal for mobile home parks to be purchased by the residents. And that was important here because in the years we had lived here, we had been bought out twice. And each time the rent went up, and they did nothing for our infrastructure. The owners were obviously just in it for profit. They weren't doing anything to improve anything here. And it's a little bit of an aging park. It's about 50 years old. We have some go-getters here in the park that are activists and stuff. And so they found out about this law and said, well, maybe we can purchase our park. And so they explored the whole idea of co-op. And there is actually an organization called Thistle that helps mobile home parks, mostly in the West, I think, for the residents to purchase them. And so they were excited to work with our park because they hadn't done anything in Colorado yet. And so we actually were the first park in Colorado to be bought by a co-op. We've actually advised other parks. There's another one right here in town that has done that since with the assistance of some of our co-op board members and Thistle.
Yeah.
And Thistle also helped arrange for financing.
Which is a key component to all
because
this.
we didn't actually, as residents, have to put in money. The co-op got financing, external financing, and the co-op bought the park. But the residents, we still all pay rent on our lots, but to the co-op, and there's some expectation of rent control for the future.
We know exactly where all our money goes with the budget, so
we get to approve the budget,
approve it.
Co-op
the board members get elected every 2 years. It's just reassuring to know that we're not getting taken advantage of, and that was definitely happening. It was like flipping houses. They were flipping these mobile home parks, and they're not happy that this law got passed and we were able to pull it off. But we were very fortunate that people sold it to us. We gave them a little higher bid than what they got from the other buyer they had lined up, and it happened for us. So we're very grateful.
And I think the other thing about the co-op is that it gives us a sense of community and pride of ownership too, which is nice.
Yes, we've had
we
some
didn't
parties.
know a lot of our neighbors before. I mean, we knew a few, but I think that has kind of brought us all together, you know, and we've had annual picnics and get-togethers and stuff, and it's nice. Yeah. It's very expensive to live in Durango these days, and there is not enough affordable housing. They're building lots of big McMansions everywhere in Durango and around Durango, but there's not a lot of affordable housing, and so living in a tiny home in this mobile home park has enabled us to live comfortably in the community we want to be in, comfortably and affordably.
you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.